Are you a business owner that is sick and tired of writing big checks to the government? You've tapped out all the different strategies looking at how can I write things off, maximizing your deductions. You got some retirement plans in place. Well, what we're going to talk about today is another option that you may not have looked at. We're going to talk about specifically a defined benefit plan. What is it and when do I need one? Defined benefit plans are employer-sponsored retirement plans that guarantee a specific retirement income to employees based on factors like length of service, age, and salary. These plans are traditionally funded by employers, and the benefits can be paid out as a lump sum or guaranteed monthly income. So what we're really talking about here is the ability for you as an employer to put away money. If you have a lot of employees, a retirement plan like this may be a little more difficult to manage. But if you have a smaller set of employees, this can be a great plan because it serves two purposes. One, it can be constructed in a way where you can put a lot of money away from yourself, shielding that money or pushing out the tax liability on that money into the future. But you're also giving a guarantee for your employees if they stay with you for a certain period of time, right? And that's where we get into length of service. How long have they worked? And how much money has been put into it. You can also guarantee some of their retirement. One of the great pieces of a defined benefit plan is really the fact that it helps you as the employee of your company, right? It helps you put away a good amount of money for yourself, but it also helps you retain those key people in your company so that they stay with you for a long time and help you build out that strategy. Because as a business owner, there's going to come a point in time where you want to move on from that company and you want to go into something else. Now we're going to get into some key features of a defined benefit plan. And before we do that, you may be saying, what is a defined benefit plan? The easiest way to think about that is pension plans, right? Defined benefit, pension, cash balance, it goes by a lot of different names. This is a way for you to guarantee and secure your income for retirement. Straight from the IRS website, 3 key features of a defined benefit plan. One, like we talked about, the primary appeal of a defined benefit plan is the guaranteed payout, which provides financial security for retirees. These are employer funded. Most of the funding responsibilities lie with the employer, though sometimes employee contributions are allowed or required. And it's a formula-based calculation. The retirement benefits are calculated using a formula based on the employee's earnings history, length of service, and age. Looking at this, right, we're going direct to the source at the IRS to get the information about these defined benefit plans because it is written in the tax code, right? And so we want to follow what the IRS is saying because here's the key feature for you as an employer, right? If you're earning a lot of income that you don't necessarily need, your ability to stuff away a good portion of that income and defer it from taxes today is a great way to have you keep some of that money in your pocket rather than writing a huge check to the government. Instead of writing that huge check to Uncle Sam, you can be putting that into your defined benefit plan. Like we were talking about, we're gonna get into some key advantages now of that defined benefit plan. So number 1, predictable retirement income. Employees know in advance how much they will receive upon retirement, which aids them in financial planning. Less investment risk for the employees. The investment risks are borne on the employer, not the employees, making it a stable retirement funding option. Potential for higher retirement benefits. For long-term employees, the benefits can be substantial compared to defined contribution plans. So what does that mean for you, right? So first off, a defined contribution plan is like a 401k or an IRA. The government tells you how much money you're allowed to contribute to that plan. In a defined benefit plan, what happens is you're defining the guarantee that you're going to get when you reach retirement age. So for certain people, that might be 62, it could be 64, could be into your later years in your 70s, right? Whenever retirement is for you, that's the way the plans get structured and designed, and you know exactly how much money you're going to have when you retire or when you start drawing on this plan. For yourself and your employees don't take on the risk of investing in the 401k, right? When they put money in a 401k, it's in the market, and the market's going to do what it does. They're taking on not just the investment risk when they contribute to a 401k, but they're also taking on that distribution risk, right? Because there's no guarantee on how much can come out of that 401k. So they're stuck in whatever sorts of rates of return they're getting in that individual year for taking money out. So it's really important to understand when you're doing a defined benefit plan, you now have a guarantee set up of exactly how much money they're going to get. They don't have to take on the risk of investment, and they don't have to take on the risk of distribution. So we've been talking about a lot of good key features of the defined benefit plan, but let's get into some things that you need to consider before putting one in place. So things to consider here: the cost to employer, right? Defined benefit plans are expensive and complex to manage, which is why their popularity has declined among modern employers. Vesting periods: employees might have to work for a number of years before they're entitled to the full benefit. Suitability: these plans are particularly beneficial for employees in stable, long-term employment who prefer predictable income and secure financial planning for retirement. The real question is, who doesn't prefer predictable income, right? I think even in your business, you'd want to have some predictable income going on, right? And we manage to those projections. You can do the same thing in retirement, knowing what your projected income is going to be. As far as costs go, if you have a large company with a number of employees, right, 100 plus employees, defined benefit plan may be too costly to manage. But if you have a small company, 15, 10, 20 employees, maybe it's just yourself and 2 other people, right? That's a perfect fit for a defined benefit plan because the cost won't be too much to manage. And as far as the vesting period goes, yes, for your employees, they may not love the vesting period, but if you want to retain that talent and not have to keep rehiring people, that vesting period could really work in your favor. So when is a defined benefit plan something you should start thinking about? A defined benefit is most suitable when long-term financial security and predictable income are priorities in retirement planning. It's ideal for individuals in stable career paths with companies that offer these plans. Consulting with a financial advisor is recommended to understand how a defined benefit plan fits into your personal financial goals and retirement planning. So the important thing to understand here is defined benefit plans aren't for every company. They're not for every employer, right? But there are situations where it is. And so one client I can think of in particular, they were looking at about a $225,000 tax bill to the IRS. What they were able to do, because they were a solo company, it's just one employee running this great company, so he was able to stuff away $400,000 into a defined benefit plan for himself. This reduced his income tax bill so that he really only had to pay about $25,000 between state and federal. So imagine being able to transfer that money into his plan, give himself a guaranteed benefit in retirement, and be able to keep a lot of that money in his pocket today rather than having to write that check to the government. Again, it's not for everybody, but this plan and this solution has been here for a long, long time, and more people should be talking about it. If you're with us this far, thank you. Right? We really appreciate you consuming the content, seeking the knowledge. If you're looking to speak to one of the people here at Epic who can walk you through either setting up a defined benefit plan, does it make sense? Hey, I'm just an employee, but I have a defined benefit plan. I have a pension plan. How's that going to factor into my retirement? Click in the description box below. One of the Epic members will reach out to you and walk you through a full cash flow analysis, helping you understand what your retirement's going to look like and if one of these plans makes sense for you. Again, we really appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Go ahead and share it and subscribe for more.